Pranam. Om Sai Ram. Shall we all please join hands in Pratna as we have just finished welcoming Vyasa Maharaj. Let us invocate divine energy within the mind, the body and the soul in the form of Pratna. Om Gananantva Ganavadigum Havamahe Kavingavenam Upamashravastramam Deshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadanat Shranvannodibhisidhasaranam Prano Devi Saraswati Vachidbhirvachanivati Dheenama Vidbhavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatye Namaha Vedapurushaya Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangai Stushtabhagum Sastanubhiः Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuः Om Swastina Indra Vriddhashravaः Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaः Swastina Stariksho Arishthanemiः Swastino Brihaspadirdadhatu Om Mekarandaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dandif Prachodayate Om Datpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayate Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha Yat Ishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanu Shiva Sharavyaya Tavatayano Rudramrdaya Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghora Papakashini Tayanastanava Shantamaya Girishanta Bhijagishi Yamishun Girishanda Haste Vibharshastave Shivange Ritratang Gurumahi Gumsif Purushan Jagate Shivena Vajasatva Girishat Chavadamasi Yathanas Sarvamid Jagada Yakshma Gumsumana Asate Adhyavochada Divakta Pradamo Devyo Bhishake Ahi Gumsha Sarva Am Jambayan Sarva Ashtayadu Danya Asoyastamro Aruna Utababhrusu Mangalaha Yeche Magum Rudra Abito Dikshu Shata Sahasrasho Veshagum Hera Imahe Asoyo Vasarpati Nila Grivo Vilohitaha Utainan Gopa Adrushan Adrushan Udahadyaha Utainam Vishwa Bhutani Sadrishto Midayatinaha Namo Astu Nila Grivaya Sahasrakshaya Midushe Athoye Asya Sadvano Hantebhyo Karan Namaha Om Datpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayate Om Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpanam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Vijaye Sarvalokinam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Tat Sat Harihi Om Om Shant Shant Shanti Harihi Om.
Let us all join in chanting the name of the Lord for a couple minutes. Radhe 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 Govinda
Radhe Radhe Govinda
Radhe 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 राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
बाल गोविंद
बाल गोविंद
ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ओम श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् हरि ओम् श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
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 श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Okay, can we raise the volume on this mic a little bit? This one. Sound check, Hari Om. Sound check, Hari Om. Sound, 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 sound. Okay. All right. So let me welcome all of you to this satsang. We are seeing, just to tell you what we are doing, we are seeing Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So our sankalpa is to finish all the verses, all 700 verses. And we are doing it in 108 nights, in 108 temples across this vast land. So we have already been on the eastern side, all the way from Crabwood Creek and all. And we are coming this side. And pretty soon we'll be in Essequibo Coast. And this is perhaps about night number 64 today. So we are very delighted to be in this temple here, Durga Mandir, for night number 64. And that is with regard to what we are doing. Now where we have reached, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, and the longest chapter is chapter 18, the last one, and the second longest is chapter 2, and the third longest is chapter 11. We are in chapter 11 now. And when we left it last night, see, one of the challenges we are having is you were not present last night, so you don't know what happened. And so we have to recap every night. So you'll catch the thread to know what happened there. So in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan described to Arjuna all his glories, all his vibhuti it is called, vibhuti yoga, all his glories. Means to say, whatever we see in this world really is the manifestation of Bhagavan's glory only. Because none of us could explain anything in this world. Really, science is trying to explain this and explain that and explain so many things. But science is in a baby stage, literally baby stage. Science really knows very little of this universe. Very little. In a prenatal stage, science is there. Yeah. Like just now, you heard Pandit chanting the first part of the Rudram and all so beautifully, right? And all the mantras and all he chanted. Now, science is studying what is going on with all the atoms and electrons and all. But the vibration for these mantras and the reach of these mantras and the effects on the universe and all that science, it will take them millennia yet to figure out all that. You see? So, they are really just in the baby stage. And really speaking, to figure out this universe is also not a... This is Bhagavan's manifestation, is Anant. See. Anant guna amit katha vistaro Ram amit katha vistar suniya charajan mani hai jinke vimal vichar siyavar Ramchandra ki
पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। Ram Anant, Bhagavan is Anant, limitless. Ananta Guna, his traits and qualities and his gunas are limitless. And so, anything that is manifested on that limitless Paramatma will also be limitless. Therefore, at another place, Tulsidaji writes, Tarki na jahi buddhi manabani. Our mind, intellect, and speech cannot really capture anything about this universe, because it is too extensive and too involved, because it's the manifestation of an infinite reality. So everything about it is infinite. Everything. So now, this infinite manifested universe and Bhagavan's glory manifested as this universe was explained in the 10th chapter. That's what I was telling. And now, by a few words in a few shlokas in one chapter, can that ever capture Bhagavan's greatness? And I was telling also in that same lecture, there are very few things that we can explain in this world. Simple things you can explain. Like when you first ate gulab jamun. All of you have had gulab jamun, na? So if you now encounter somebody from Argentina or something and you try to explain to him the taste of gulab jamun, you could explain? How you will explain? No matter what you tell that fellow, the only thing you have to do is what? Give him a gulab jamun. Any amount of explanation that you do for a person who has not experienced that thing will never suffice. In the same way, Bhagavan gave this description of his greatness, his glories, his mahima, his opulence, and all that he gave to Arjuna in the 10th chapter. But that thing will not suffice. Arjuna then asked, Prabhu, drashtumichhami te rupam. I want to see the form that you were talking about, in 10th chapter. I want to see that. And Bhagavan said, okay, I'll show you. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. Pashyame yogam aishwaram. I give you divine eyes to see it, because you can't see it with these ordinary eyes. Our ordinary eyes, the Upanishad describes, these eyes are extroverted and they don't see much. Paranchi khani vyatrina swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratma. These eyes can see all the gross things in this world. And unless we divinize our eyes, we will not be able to see Paramatma in this world. You have to divinize the eyes. Like when you put on green goggles, how do you see the world? Green. So the change of the goggles causes you to see different colors. Well, in the same way, the eyes itself have to be divinized, and then we'll see everything divine. And that eyes is to be divinized from within. You see, Divya Chakshu. But Arjuna obtained Divya Chakshu instantaneously from Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And he started seeing this cosmic form of the Lord. This is what is going on in Bhagavad Gita now, and this is where we are. Alright? Okay, now, Arjuna Uvacha, this is verse number 15, when all this has happened. And Arjuna now starts describing Bhagavan's glory, what he's seeing. What he sees with these divine eyes which Bhagavan gave him, what he sees. That is what is being described now from verse number 15. Now we'll chant. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Pashyami devastava devadehe.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Sarvastatha bhuta vishesha sangha.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Brahmanamisham kamalasanastam.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Rishimsha sarvanurgamsha devya.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Aneka bahu, aneka bahu, daravatra netram.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami tvam sarva tonantarupam.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Nantam na madhyam na punastavadim.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hari Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hari Krishna,
Mukunda Krishna. Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Pashyami, I see. Arjuna is reporting now directly, what he sees. With what? Divine eyes, not these ordinary eyes. Divyam Chakshu. Divya Chakshu Bhagavan gave to him. So with those divine eyes, what he is seeing? Pashyami Devans Tava Deva Dehe. Hey Deva, he's calling Bhagavan Shri Krishna Deva. Hey Deva, I see all the Devatas. All Devatas. Where? Tava Dehe. In your body. In Bhagavan Krishna's body now, Arjuna is seeing all Devatas. And how many Devatas are there? 33 crores. Like 330 million. Like that. Devatas. And he's seeing all of them in Bhagavan's body. Sarvans tatha bhuta vishesha sanghan. And all the various classes of creatures. How many? 84 lakh species. 8.4 million species. He's seeing all, and all of them bhuta vishesha sanghan, in groups. Groups of moths, groups of lizards, groups of kinnaras, groups of apsaras, nagas, you name it. Sarvans tata bhuta vishesha sanghan. Bhuta means all beings. Whatever rupa, nama rupa. He's seeing, now you think, how many things Arjuna is seeing? You can't even imagine. See, you see this light? I remember as a student in Mumbai, back in the day, the ashram had lights like this, one here, one there, one there. And in the rainy season, the little flies come by the light, you know that? Little flies and moths and all that, they are attracted by the light. And that time it was all bush around. So imagine how many little creatures, right? And in the morning, every morning when we get up, under every lamp, like right here, on the ground there, there'll be a heap of little creatures like this. A mound. Dead. Because they are attracted by the light in the night time, and they all die and fall right there every night. Every day the sweeper has to come and sweep. And that's only under one light. And and you go by the next one, another heap. Think of how many creatures. And now Arjuna says, Sarvans tatha bhuta vishesha sanghan. All the various species of beings, and all of them, they exist in Bhagavan only, and Arjuna's divine eyes is seeing all of them. That is unimaginable to us, mind-blowing to us. He's using the plural sarvan. Bhuta vishesha sanghan. That means he's seeing all of them. Every living creature inside Bhagavan. Brahmana mesham kabalasanastham. And Brahmaji also is seeing, he's speaking about our Brahmanda in our loka. He's seeing Brahmaji sitting on his lotus. And Rishimscha Sarvan, Uragamscha Divyan. And all the rishis, various rishis, and all, he's seeing all of them in Bhagavan. Where this is going on? In Bhagavan's body. In other words, what Bhagavan has done is, to a great extent, remove space for Arjuna. He's removed space for Arjuna, because in space, like for example, the devatas are there, all the bugs and all the creatures are here. So they are there in Swargalok, and all the other creatures are here, and the rishis are all over the place. But in one place, Arjuna is seeing all of them. So the divine eyes, actually, the other way to say that is to take the eyes, take Arjuna's vision beyond space, because space separates things for us. Space separates you from me. So he took Arjuna's eyes beyond space. So he could see everything now in one Bhagavan's body. Uragamscha Divyan. And last night when that thing came up, I told that means Arjuna was seeing all the various creatures in all the various lokas. So you are taught in Christian education, we are taught that this is the only world. And there are no other, well, maybe two other. One is called heaven and one is called hell. And then there's a middle one somewhere, called as purgatory or something, right? And then there's nothing else. But that is not Hindu teaching. Please understand this thing. Hindu teaching is, there are Ananta Koti Brahmanda. That's why we have these words in Sanskrit. Countless universes. Countless universes of various types, with various types of beings. And in the scriptures we hear about Apsaras, we hear about Kinnaras, we hear about Nagas, we hear about Yakshas, we hear about so many various classes of beings, and they all live in their own world. So it's not just one world that we are talking about. So Arjuna is seeing all of them. And then regarding Bhagavan himself, now this is about all the various types of beings. He's seeing all of them in Bhagavan. Regarding Bhagavan himself, see now, this is number 16. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Sab gaiye.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Aneka Bahu Darvaktra Netram.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Tvam Sarva Tonanta Rupam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Antamadhyana Punastavadim.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Nantam Namadhyana Punastavadim.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Vishveshwa Raveshwarupa.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
So Arjuna's first description is about all the various beings and creatures and all the different lokas and so many things that he saw. And now the second verse, if you see, there's a shift now. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam. Now he's describing Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. And how is Bhagavan Shri Krishna? Aneka bahu. Countless arms. Anek literally means countless. Aneka. Countless arms. Then udara, belly, and countless bellies. Vaktra, mouths. Netram, eyes. He is seeing Bhagavan with countless arms. So two ways to understand that. All the arms and eyes and bellies and everything in this world all belong to Bhagavan. Or he is seeing Bhagavan himself with countless of them. Like that. Pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam. I'm seeing you from all sides. Now see, any side of Bhagavan, he look, Bhagavan will have heads. Any side he sees, he will have arms. Any side he sees, he will have mouths and bellies, like that. Na antam na madhyam na punastavadim. He sees Bhagavan, no beginning, no middle, and no end. That is the Lord. Infinite. This whole concept of infinitude is profusely discussed in Hindu scriptures. And for those of you who like intellectual studies, you have to really push your intellect to understand this whole concept of infinitude. What is infinitude? And exactly what are the implications of understanding the whole concept of infinitude? Usually we don't do, because our mind is taken up with all the finite things, and we are happily preoccupied with all the finite things and all. So the infinitude and understanding infinitude is a big, big task, and people who study scriptures should again and again strive to understand this thing called Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. I see you, Vishveshwara, and so many various names of Bhagavan Shri Krishna Arjuna is also using. Vishwa Ishwara. The Ishwara, or the Lord and controller of the whole Vishwa, means the whole universe. We have seen this word before. And Vishwarupa, who is himself of the nature of this world. This is a very interesting word. Vishwarupa. Bhagavan is himself the Vishwa. It is not that Bhagavan is outside the Vishwa, or beneath the Vishwa, or above the Vishwa. That this universe. Usually our thinking takes us into this type of erroneous thinking. Maybe Bhagavan is beneath. Maybe Bhagavan is... When we use the word substratum, our mind goes beneath. When we use the word uparwala, the mind goes up. Bhagavan is not any... He is this universe. Whatever we are seeing in front of us, it is him only. Because the idea is, he is the one and only reality that there is. There is no second thing. You see? There is no second thing beside the Lord. And it's that one infinite reality which has taken on all of these forms. So Arjuna is calling him Vishwarupa. He continues to describe Bhagavan now in the next verse also. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Kiritinam Gadi Nam Chakrinam Cha.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Tejo Rashim Sarvato Diptimantam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Tvam Dur Niriksham Samanta.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Pashyami Tvam Dur Niriksham Samanta.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Deeptanalaka Jyotima Prameyam.
Jai Hare Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, 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 Mukunda
Krishna. Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Now one more thing, see. It is the Lord who is of infinite forms, and whatever form Arjuna is seeing will be the form that Bhagavan is allowing him to see also. Because the Lord doesn't have only one form. The Lord has infinite forms. So now he is seeing Bhagavan Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrinam Cha. He is seeing Bhagavan with a jewel crown, like diadem, whatever they call it. Crown filled with all jewels. He is seeing Bhagavan with one of those. Now I am telling, this is Bhagavan himself would have fashioned. One more thing about that is, whichever form we previously thought about the Lord in, that is what form Bhagavan will produce before us. Tulsidas ji writes, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जिनके रही भावना जैसी, प्रभु मूरत तिन देखी ऐसी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जिनके रही भावना जैसी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
प्रभु मूरत तिन देखी तैसी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
राम. श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Since Bhagavan is infinite and Arjuna is seeing a particular form of Bhagavan, he is seeing Bhagavan with a crown, he is seeing Bhagavan with a gada. Gada means that mace. He is seeing Bhagavan with a chakra, the Sudarshan chakra. That means to say that Bhagavan is presenting himself in front of Arjuna in this particular form, but that is not his only form, one and only form. Because the Chaupai says, Jinike rahi bhavana jaisi, Prabhu Murat tin dekhi taisi. Means to say, as we worship God and think about God, whatever description of God we have from the Shastras, that form which we worship, like for example in the mandir here, Durga Maya is worshipped. That is Paramatma in the form of Durga Maya, Paramatma in the form of Ram, Paramatma in the form of Hanumanji, Paramatma in the form of Ganeshji, Paramatma in the form of whichever form you worship. That form Bhagavan will present before that devotee. This is what the Shastras teach. This is what the Chaupai say. If you worship Paramatma as Ganesh, Bhagavan will appear to you as Ganesh. You worship Paramatma as Durga Maya, Paramatma will appear to you as Durga Maya. So now Arjuna is seeing now what is primarily what we all know as the form of Lord Vishnu, because he has that crown jewel, and he has that gada, and he has that mace, and what you call that chakra, and all of that. So Arjuna is seeing that form. That means what? Arjuna would have previously worshipped that form of Bhagwan, Lord Vishnu's form. You see? Narayana Bhagwan. Like that. Then, Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptimantam. And he sees Bhagwan in the form of Tejo Rashim is a mass of resplendent light. Like that he is seeing the Lord. Sarvato Deeptimantam, shining from all sides, almost blinding. Pashyami Tvam Durniriksham. Very difficult to watch, he is telling. He is explaining. Very difficult to see. Because bright light, the moment any person flashes even a flashlight in your face, you turn. And yesterday we had seen the description. You all were not there. As though 1,000 suns rising in the sky simultaneously. See, when one sun we cannot even watch. Imagine 1,000 suns rising in the sky. So Arjuna's vision of Bhagwan now is like this, so bright. Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptimantam Pashyami Tvam Durniriksham Samanta. Very difficult to look at. Bhagwan is so bright. Now see, in our Sanatan Dharma also, whenever we use brightness and light and all that, what it means, that is used usually to symbolize light of knowledge. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas is used to symbolize darkness, and Jyoti, light, is used to symbolize knowledge. So remove me from the darkness of ignorance and bring me to the light of knowledge. That is the tradition. It's a wonderful tradition of coming out from the darkness of ignorance. Tamas. And coming into the light of knowledge. And now Arjuna is seeing Bhagwan as a mass of light. Means an infinite mass of light. Means Bhagwan himself is pure consciousness. Pure chit. Deeptanalarka Dhyutima Prameyam. Like blazing and shining from all sides. Incomparable. Like the sun. And I told you now, even one sun we cannot watch. And yesterday we saw that description, like 1,000 suns rising at the same time. Then he continues now. This is number 11, 18. See that? Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Jai Hare Krishna,
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Tamavyaya Shashvata Gurmadha. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna. Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Tamavyaya Shashvata Dharma Gopta.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
Sanatana Tvam Purusho Mato Me.
Jai Hare Krishna, Mukunda Krishna.
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 Jai Hare Krishna,
Mukunda Krishna. Krishna Kanaya Lal Ki Jai. Tvam Aksharam Paramam Veditavyam. You are, Arjuna is telling to Bhagavan now, Tvam, you are Aksharam Paramam Veditavyam. That thing which is to be known by all the Vedas. So why we have Vedas? See now how Bhagavad Gita is giving clear directive of Vedas. Veditavyam. In the Vedas, there is only one thing to be known, and that is Paramatma. And I keep telling now everywhere that people use spirituality for the wrong reason. People use all the scriptures and spirituality and all the various things for the wrong reason. Just like we use a knife to turn a screw in the house, in the door. When some screw is loose somewhere, we don't have a screwdriver, what you do? You go take a knife and you... But knife is not meant for turning screws, isn't it? That's why you have screwdriver. So we use the knife for some purpose for which it was not meant. That is the idea. So in the very same way, people use shastras, scriptures, religion, Sanatana Dharma, all that for the wrong reason too. In the Vedas, it is said, see in the Upanishad also, Sarva Vedaha Yat Paramamananti. All the Vedas are meant, and here also, Tvam Aksharam Paramam Veditavyam. Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. Here the directive is very simple one. All scriptures, whatever is presented in Sanatana Dharma, they are all meant for one thing only, for us to come to know Paramatma. Nothing else. Huh? So when I say people use it for the wrong reason, what we do? People think that if I study scriptures and I worship God and all that, I will become rich. So we use scriptures and Bhagwan for money. Right? Another group of people feel, if I study scriptures and worship Paramatma well, I will become educated. So some people use scriptures to get education. Then other people feel, oh, if I study scriptures well and I worship Bhagwan well every day, I will be healthy, all my diseases will go away. So we use for wealth, for education, for health, then for other things. People want to get a good job. So if I go and pray to the Lord, I'll get a good job. But scriptures are not meant for any one of these things. You know why? Oh, that is a simple proof. Simple proof. Any child could tell you the proof. Because there are millions, not billions of atheists in this world. Billions of atheists who never prayed one single day. Right? Out of the 8 billion people, half must be atheists only. They never prayed a single day and believe in no God. But they get all money. They are millionaires and billionaires also. They get all education, all of them have PhD and all degrees and all. And they are very healthy. And they get all jobs and everything. Then they never prayed to God even one single day. That is proof or not? That scriptures are not meant for any of these things. Because people without scriptures, without God, without religion, without any worship, they get all these things. So the idea is exactly as Bhagavan as Arjuna is telling here, and as the Upanishad is telling, that Sarve Veda Paramam Mamananti. That really the Vedas are meant and the scriptures are meant for all of us to know Paramatma. That is all. And all our worship and all our rituals and whatever we do and study and swadhyaya and whatever, it is all so that we'll come to know Paramatma. It's a very simple thing. And if you want to get rich, work hard. Correct or not? Work hard. You'll get rich. If you want to be healthy, live a healthy lifestyle. You can't be eating all unhealthy thing, living unhealthy lifestyle, and every morning you're going praying to Prabhu, please make me healthy, na, please make me healthy, and you're eating junk every day. What it will do? Just live a healthy lifestyle. Study hard. If you want to pass exam, study hard. That is the idea. Huh? So this line is very important, and throughout the scriptures it is said like this: the Vedas are meant only for one thing. Huh? Sarve Vedaha Yat Padamamananti. So all the Vedas are meant for knowing that reality only. It comes from the Upanishad. Twamavyaya Shashvata Dharmana Twamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. And Bhagwan is the Nidhana, the refuge of the whole universe. It means everything rests in Bhagwan. The whole universe rests in the Lord. Just like the pot rests in the clay. And if there were no clay, would there be any pot? No. The pot of various sizes, various forms, and various names, all of them, they rest in clay. And if there were no clay, you can't have the pot. I'm talking about clay pots. I'm not talking about your aluminum cooking pot. So, this is the meaning of this line. Swamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. Everything rests in Paramatma. And had there been no Paramatma, there would be nothing in this world. Had there been no clay, there would be no pot. In other words, Paramatma is the world. The clay is the pot. Because without clay there is no pot. Tvamavyayaha. Bhagavan is avyayaha, means the one who is undecaying, unchanging, all the time same. And do you know, I keep telling, no? Science goes on trying to find out this and find out that and find out the other thing, and they go on spending billions and billions and billions of dollars to find out what we already know. That's like reinventing the wheel. That is an amazing thing. You know, science have found out, and they teach in school, what? Matter is neither created nor destroyed. That is what they teach in school. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. You didn't have to spend millions of dollars to know that. You could have buy Upanishad for $2. You buy Bhagavad Gita for $2 and you would have found out that. And nothing in this world is created or destroyed. And we mean absolutely nothing. Neither created nor destroyed. Everything is there. Just either it is in a state of manifestation called Vyakta, or is in a state of unmanifest called Avyakta. And it keeps going from Vyakta to Avyakta, Avyakta to Avyakta, and back and like that. That is all. Everything is already there. This is the Upanishadic teaching. And this is the meaning of Avyayaha. Otherwise, if things were not there, there would have been Vyaya. Bhagwan would have been Vyaya. Some part of Bhagwan was not there, and now he came. That is called Vyaya. But Bhagwan is called Avyaya. Unchanging means everything is already there. Nothing comes and nothing goes. Shashvata Dharma Goptaha. This is a very wonderful thing. He is the protector of the eternal Sanatana Dharma. In the 4th chapter we had seen that already. What is that? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Yada yada hi dharmasya Glanirбhavati Bharata.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Abhyathanam dharmasya Tadatmanam srejamyaham.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Arjuna is telling now, and there Bhagavan himself had told. Arjuna is telling Shashvata Dharma Gopta. Bhagavan is the one who protects this eternal dharma, which is Sanatana in the next line. Sanatana Dharma. Bhagavan is the one who protects it. So what we have to do in our lifetime is you spend the lifetime doing the work of Bhagavan. You become his instrument. You know, like how my finger is my instrument to whatever you do with your finger. Finger is the instrument too. So we become the instrument in the hands of Bhagavan to protect this eternal dharma. There he says, when there is a decline of dharma and a rise of adharma, tad atmanam srijamyaham. That time I come forth. What? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskritam. To remove all the wicked and to save the sadhus. Like that. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. That is his work. He comes again and again to remove adharma in the form of evil people and all that. You see? And to re-establish dharma. So here he is telling, Arjuna is telling, oh Prabhu, you are the one I realize now. That you are, and all this is going to build up to a crescendo at a certain point in this 11th chapter. Amazing things will happen here. Tvam avyayaha shashvata dharma gopta sanatanastvam purusho mato me. I understand clearly now. My firm understanding, clear understanding now, that you are the one who protects this dharma. And Bhagavan was telling Arjuna in the beginning, from the standpoint of dharma also, you have to get up and fight, like that. But Arjuna now comes to realize, oh, I thought I was getting up to fight for dharma, but really it is Bhagavan who is protecting dharma. And this goes for all things in our life. We should understand like that. Well, I thought I did this and I did that and I did the other thing. But we should realize it was really done by Paramatma. Anytime we feel I did this and I did that, and had it not been for me, this thing would not have happened and that thing would not have been done, you better think again. Because if you were not there, Bhagavan would have certainly got it done. You don't think that Bhagavan could not have done it. He'll get it done. Otherwise, what happened to us? Our ego builds so much that we feel that we are indispensable. We feel that we become indispensable. But really, all of us are dispensable. Have you heard bhajan? I'm sure all of you would have heard. Tere jaise lakho aaye, lakho is mati ne khaye. Like you, millions have come. And what happened to them? The earth swallowed them up. Rahana naam nishan re bande, mat kar tu abhiman. Not even a sign of them remained. Oh, just think. I'll tell you sign of them. Huh? Now, who was here before in this place? The Dutch people, right? The Dutch people were here. That's why we have all kind of Dutch names going down the road, all road here. You see any sign of them? You see any sign of any Dutchman? Besides the silk cotton tree you're talking about. You seen any sign of any Dutchman anywhere? Okay, you know the name of the first Dutchman who lived in this spot? Anybody know? This is the meaning of the bhajan. Rahana nama nishana re bande. Not even a name or a sign of that existence that our fellow remain. And we think in another 200-300 years, any sign of you go remain? In the same way, any sign of me, I will remain. Not even any one iota of sign. Anybody to know that I passed here. Then why you have all this? Ego and abhiman and this, and without me and that and all. Oh, Bapre. Arjuna is realizing now that really I am not any protector of any dharma. Who is the protector of dharma? Bhagwan. And Bhagwan will tell just now, in this same chapter, it will not be in this temple, it will be somewhere else. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. My dear, you please become the instrument only. Because I am the one who is doing. Maya vaite nihita purvameva. I have done all of it already. Finished it. You just become the instrument. And you will get some credit also. Like that. He'll tell in this 11th chapter later on. A very famous verse it is. So, Arjuna realizes, oh, Bhagwan himself was telling me to get up and fight for dharma. Yes, I'll get up and fight for dharma. Like he became, because by 10th chapter, he was convinced. But now he is saying, you are the protector. Sanatanastam, Sanatana. The two words are coming in this verse. Sanatana dharma. Sanatana dharma is two words coming in this verse. And our whole Vedic tradition is called as Sanatana dharma. A very big term. Very big term. Let me just briefly tell you about this Sanatana dharma. So first thing is, our religion is not properly named Hinduism. That is, foreigners gave that name. Because the people from Persia, they used to look across the Sindhu river. There was a river called Sindhu Nadi. So they used to look on that side of the Sindhu, and they used to say the people who living on that side. And in their language, they could not pronounce Sindhu properly. So they used to say Hindu. In many parts of that part of the world, you may not know. Those of you who have traveled, you will know. In the south part of Bharat, those people cannot say Hara Hara Mahadev. Today, if you go also, and you tell a South Indian, say Hara Hara Mahadev. Like we could say it very easily, right? Hara Hara Mahadev, because there's a Ha. There's no Ha in their language. They say Hara Hara Mahadev. Up till now. And if you go to Orissa and Bengal and Bihar and UP, those states on that side, northeastern and eastern, they cannot say V, Va. So if you tell them, say Vivek, my boy, say Vivek, he will say Bibek. He can't say Vivek. And what are you talking about there? This happens in all languages. Right here in Venezuela, next door. They don't say Venezuela. They say Venezuela. B. The word, they change it to a B. And here, whole of, you go from Mexico, going down all that, the Spanish and all, instead of V, you see the name of the animal, they have an animal like a llama, it's called a vicuña. The proper Spanish word is a vicuña. Nobody says vicuña. They say vicuña. So that happens all over the world. So in the same way there now, the people living on the western side of the Sindhu, they did not have the Sa, Sindhu, they couldn't say. So they started calling people Hindu. So that's how we got that name. But that is not our name. We should be called by our proper name. Our proper name will be Sanatanis. Because we follow Sanatana Dharma. You got that from today? Please remember that. We follow Sanatana Dharma. So now I'll tell you what is the Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana word means eternal. Eternal. Now, what is the meaning of eternal? It means that thing is always like that. Always has been, is, and will be like that. That is called Sanatana. Eternal. Eternal. Just like, do you think one day, just to give an example, do you think one day fire will become cold? Well, that would be a joke. If you light this diya, and one day you light it, and when you put it like this, your hand freeze. No, fire was hot, fire is hot, and fire will always be hot. Otherwise, how you call it fire? Suppose it becomes cold, you call it fire or what? You call it ice. So, that thing has a quality that was like that, it is like that, and that will always be like that. That thing is called as eternal. Now, this is a simple example. Sugar will always be sweet. If one day you taste sugar and it tastes like pepper, then you yourself will not call it sugar. Correct? So that is called the quality, the inherent quality of the thing. That is called its dharma. So that is one meaning of the inherent quality of fire is heat. Correct? So that is called the dharma of fire. The inherent quality of sugar is sweet. That is called the dharma of sugar. So that is one meaning. And I'm telling, that thing can only be called by that name because that dharma or that inherent quality is eternal. It was like that, it is like that, and will always be like that. So this is the first meaning. The inherent eternal quality of a thing, which is always like that only. Now, next meaning of this dharma. Dharma word comes from Sanskrit root dhr. Dhr means that which upholds, which sustains, and which integrates. Now I'll just give you a simple example to which upholds, sustains, and integrates. Look here. When you go out on this road here, right? Now see, Siriji was driving me coming here. And which side of the street we were driving? Well, we're driving coming in Guyana. You have to drive on the left side of the street. Right? You have to drive on the left side of the street. Now, suppose he's driving me back now and he decides, man, I fed up drive on the left side. My whole life I driving on the left side. Today I decide I am going to drive on the right side. So what will happen? One fellow was saying that he now figure out what's wrong with he. You know it have a right brain and left brain? He said, in the right brain, there is nothing left. And in the left brain, there is nothing right. So if he end up like that, and he decides now, I'm going to drive on the right side, then what will happen? Well, we will not reach to the ashram. That is first thing. But we will cause many other people also not to reach to the ashram, isn't it? Not to reach their destination. So there is a rule, a simple rule now, on the road. I'm just giving you an example of a rule. Simple rule says, in Guyana, when you are driving, you have to drive on the left side. And if all of us follow that rule properly, the society will be sustained and upheld, and the society will run harmoniously and smoothly or not? It will run nicely. Now, if one man decides to break that rule, he'll cause chaos in the road or not? He'll cause chaos. So like that, to uphold and sustain a harmonious society, so many rules have been made by the society itself, by laws. At the same time, there are eternal rules not made by society, but they coexist with the universe. Eternal rules, which if we follow, those eternal rules, if we follow, our life will be upheld, and our life will be sustained, and society will be sustained, and all things will be perpetuated nicely and harmoniously. And if we don't follow, well, now see, I'll give you an example. This is a real example now. I was standing one day when I was a student abroad. I was standing in some business place by a counter like this, and there was one man behind the counter. So another man came. So The man who came, he had to speak with that fellow behind the counter. So he asked that fellow, you want a cigarette? That was the first question he asked. He came for some business, but he's offering that fellow a cigarette. So he asked, he pulled out the pack. You want a cigarette? So that fellow behind the counter, nah man, shouted loudly. Nah man, I don't want any cigarette. What do you think? If the Lord wanted me to smoke, he'd have put a chimney on my head. Now how forcefully he told this thing. Now that thing sounds like the truth to me. Because anywhere there's smoke, it is always a day. You ever see anybody put a chimney behind? The chimney is always going up. But that fellow's immediate retort was, no, if the Lord wanted me to smoke, he would have put a chimney on my head. It means to say that that fellow knows that smoking is not natural. Correct? Smoking is not natural. It was handed to us by these people. So now, when this fellow does not follow the natural laws, because through your nose, what you're supposed to breathe? Nice fresh Guyana air. Isn't it? So now, through the nose and down in the lungs. Down in the lungs. Now he's taking something else down in the lungs now. Now later on, that leads to so many types of complications and so many problems and so much of, health facilities and billions spent in research to combat cancer and advertisement for cigarettes and you imagine the trillions of dollars industry behind that one thing. So the idea is, those things, when the natural laws are not followed, those eternal laws are not followed, what? My lungs are meant to breathe nice, fresh air. When I depart from that, when I don't follow the law, the rule, I cause real chaos in society. And that chaos has reached the courts also, The class action suits have come against tobacco companies. So we spending millions, people just circling money everywhere, trying. And if he smoked the cigarette, but he blaming the tobacco company. And the amount of complication and the amount of deceit and fraud and all of that, because this person doesn't want to accept responsibility for his own actions, he blaming it on? Yes. That really cannot sustain any society. Society will slowly decay. And that is what has happened. There is rampant decadence everywhere. So this eternal dharma, with all the natural laws put in place, with all natural laws coexistent with the universe, when we depart from them, we cause chaos and breakdown and decadence in society. That is the transgressing of dharma. And when we follow them, we are upkeeping dharma. It's an amazing thing. Anyway, next month I will be talking about this at some place, and that one topic alone. Or if you're more interested in that, you please see that. Sana Purusho Matome. This is what I consider Arjuna is telling. You are the protector of this eternal dharma. In other words, Bhagavan who is the one who holds the laws fast. So you can't break the law. You cannot say that from tomorrow, I will break the law. Which law? I will smoke everything possible and remain healthy. You smoke newspaper too. And remain healthy. The law is, if you smoke anything, you will become unhealthy. That is the idea. Because you were not meant for smoking. You see? Arjuna continues now saying, oh, time done. Now Arjuna cannot continue. He'll have to continue tomorrow. My time is gone away. Alright. So I'll tell you where we are. Tomorrow we are at Kovadin Ayodhya Mandir. Kovadin? Kovadin Ayodhya Mandir, East Bank, Demerara. That is in just on the other side, or Okay. A very special thank you to Pandit Suraj Prasad and all the wonderful devotees here at the temple for having arranged this satsang tonight at short notice and all. We had some change in the program just recently, and so Panditji took it upon himself to arrange. Thank you so much for arranging at short notice. Okay. A bookmark has been printed for this occasion of 108 nights and 108 temples. This bookmark, one is printed for everybody. Please have one to mark the occasion. It will remind you, years later you will see it in a book and you will remember. All right. This is an announcement. A Guyanese national is required immediately as administrative technical engineer for Taka Energy Services. Taka Energy Services is looking to hire an administrative technical engineer. For those of you who know anybody who qualifies, you can apply. The company has asked to send out the word. Okay. All right. On the 3rd of May, this 108 nights will conclude in Georgetown, very close to here. All of you should try to come. Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground, 3rd of May, 5 p.m. These three things you have to remember. Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground, 3rd of May, 5 p.m. There will be a huge conclusion, gala celebration, and grand finale of this whole 108 nights. And people will be coming from so many temples where we have all gone and all. Please try and be present. We'll be providing dinner for everybody, and you will get to meet people from all across the country who have participated in this program. It will be nice if you are present there, okay? It will be good also if you give us an indication of how many you will be coming from this temple so that we can make provisions for dinner for everybody and all that, all right? Okay, so 3rd of May. Then at the ashram in Manvipo, we have classes in Bhagavad Gita, Sanskrit, classes in Vedic chanting, so many various types of classes, scriptures, prakarana, granthas, and so on. Those of you who want to join, the teachers are here. Brahmachari Dvijot is there, and here Devji and Jinaji, their teachers all posted in Guyana for this type of work. So please meet them and find out all the different types of classes that are there. All right. Now last announcement I'll tell is the Vedanta course. Those people who are interested in doing this type of work and becoming a teacher in Sanatana Dharma, in Chinmaya Mission, the requirements are very strict requirements to become a teacher. The course starts on the 2nd of October and it's a 2-year course. So you have to be 30 years and under, you have to be unmarried, and you have to have a university degree. If you qualify and you join, then it is a strict 2-year course of constant study, 2 years every single day, not a single day holiday. 365 days study. And also classes from 5:30 a.m. every day till 8 p.m. every day. If you come out alive, then you can go and teach. So this starts on the 2nd of October. And this course is conducted only 2 places in the world. One in Bharat, India, and one in Trinidad. So the next batch, right now a batch is going on in Mumbai, in India. So the next batch is starting in Trinidad on the 2nd of October. Please pass the word around and tell students who will be interested in this type of thing. Okay, I think that is it. Have a look at our bookstall at the back there. Many wonderful titles are there. Many titles for children. It's good to give books as presents rather than give chocolate, you know. And the art of man making. This is based on Bhagavad Gita. How to make solid human beings from Bhagavad Gita. And service above self. Seva. Doing seva. Okay. Now we'll have Gita Arti and we'll conclude. Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita, हरिः कमलविहारिणि हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोले कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। जगदम्बा माता की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते।